Go Mouse Scouts episode 144. You're listening to Go Mouse Scouts, where we're dedicated to helping you and your kids have a great time at the Disney parks. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro, my name is Kris.
And I'm Megan.
And this episode, well, I know it's kind of clickbaity, but this episode is called Worst Trip Ever. Now, I feel like I have to kind of explain a little bit. We didn't have the worst trip ever, but we're kind of taking an idea from one of my friends, Joey McGurr, from the Disney Hack podcast, which now he's actually part of One Little Spark podcast. But, you know, I digress. But one of the things he did was he would go on to TripAdvisor and look up bad trip reviews from Walt Disney World or Disneyland, because there's so much we can learn from other people's bad experiences. And I mean, it's sad that people, you know, will go to the Disney parks and not have a good time, but you know, we can learn from this. So we decided to pick one of these, and this is actually a trip review from October of last year, and kind of I guess unpack it and, you know, try and figure out what may have gone wrong and what these people could have done to have a better time there, you know, because I mean, it sucks whenever you're spending so much money on, these guys took a 2-day trip and you don't have a good time. And these guys, even, it looks like they came from New York.
New York, yeah.
You know, so we want to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. And whenever we do these, we're going to try and find ones that, you know, kind of cater more toward, you know, the family and visiting with kids and stuff, because I mean, that's who we are, Go Mouse Scouts. But let's go ahead and read this. Do you want to read it or should I?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Long lines, which I expected, but not good with young children, 6 years old. We were told that by buying advance tickets, we could skip the long lines to get in. It took 1 hour in the bag search line, then another hour in the ticket line. Kids were having meltdowns everywhere. Parents were frustrated. We took autograph books to get character autographs and pictures, but lines to get to see the characters were at least 60 to 100 people long. 2 days there, got 2 autographs, and went on 2 rides. So awful, we just went back to hotel to swim. Fireworks were nice. We watched them from the hotel. I feel so bad for these people.
I mean, initial thoughts, you know, I mean.
Well, the first thing that I can say is that buying advance tickets lets you skip one of the 3 lines that you may have to wait in before you actually get into the park. Okay, so first there's going to be the bag check line, which, yes, they can reach an hour long if you go at the wrong time. But we'll get to that in a minute. Then there's the ticket line. And that's the one that you can skip if you buy them in advance online. But then there's the actual line to get through the turnstiles. And those can take a while too, although I don't think I've ever experienced them actually taking an hour. And I've experienced some pretty long ones.
Yeah, well, let's see here. They mentioned the bag check line was an hour.
I have experienced an hour-long bag check line, but that was before they moved things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, so here's my takeaway from this, is that if you go at 10 o'clock, yes, the bag check line is going to be an hour. And the line to get into the park is going to be probably half an hour. And that's because that's when the vast majority of people are arriving, is like between 10 and 2. You
want to get there before the masses.
Yes,
basically.
Definitely want to get there as early as you can. Now, if the park doesn't open till 10, that's, you know, sounds like maybe,
a little bit out of luck on that. But
maybe they didn't choose the best timing to go.
Yeah, this was posted. Was posted October 9th of
right. So
of
I don't know
year.
when exactly they went, but if
I'm guessing it was probably soon before this, because if you have a bad experience, generally people are going to go leave their bad review while it's still fresh on their mind and they're still fuming. You know what I mean?
Right. So maybe they went on the weekend. Maybe it was a holiday weekend. I don't know. It's one of those tricky things, because you really want to try and time your trip to a time of year when there's going to be fewer people.
Yeah.
And if you know, you're I kind of don't think that maybe they came all the way out here for a 2-day trip just for that. Maybe this was added on to something else.
So check this out. I'm looking at the calendar here. They posted their review on October 9th, which is a Monday.
Right.
So, and they said they went for 2 days. So I'm thinking they probably went for Saturday and Sunday. So that's a mistake right there. You don't want to go on a weekend when, I mean, those are like those are going to be the most crowded days out of the week.
Unfortunately so. Now, I understand that might be the only time that you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
But, and again, I hesitate to think that they would have flown all the way out here, all the way across the country with a small child just for a weekend trip.
Yeah.
It was probably added on to some other longer trip where they did other things and that they just spent 2 days at Disney. In which case, could they maybe have, say that they had been out here for 4 or 5 days? Could they have maybe gone on a different 2 days?
Yeah, like a
maybe
Tuesday and Wednesday or something
somehow
like that.
Trying to, alter, if you're going to be coming on the weekend, it's not going to be opening at 10. It's going to be opening earlier. You need to get there as early as you possibly can. You want to be there as close to rope drop as possible.
That's absolutely true. Yeah. Now this is actually also at the beginning of when they're changing over the decorations to the Halloween time and stuff like that.
They're already well into Halloween time at this point.
Well, so they changed things over right after Thanksgiving, basically, right?
We're talking about October, sweetie.
Wait.
Thanksgiving is in November.
Oh my gosh. Should we leave this in?
Of course.
See, I'm not good at math either. That's why I do artistic things.
No, by this point, they're already 3 weeks into the Halloween parties.
Things up.
So maybe they went for a well, no, they would have mentioned if they went for the Halloween party.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, definitely that's the first mistake, is that they did not show up for rope drop. They clearly came, they had a nice leisurely breakfast at the hotel. And, if you want to do that, that's fine. But then you also have to expect that you're not going to get to do, everything that you want to do.
Right.
Because really those first 2 hours before 10 o'clock, that's the golden hours. If you can be there between 8 and 10, you can get 5 or 6 rides done.
Yeah,
you
we
can
do it
meet
all the time.
2 or 3 characters and get 2 or 3 rides done. They could have done more in between 8 and 10 than they did apparently their entire trip. So the second thing that you want to do is you really want to pay attention to fast passes. Okay. Now I know that now you can pay to, book your fast passes on your phone or what, I don't know. You don't need to do that though. You can still just use the fast pass system. The fast pass system is free. A lot of people don't realize that, but it is free. You don't have to pay for it unless you want to be able to book it on your phone ahead. But again, that's aside. I know that at places like Universal, if you want a system that's similar to FastPass where you get the front of the line passes, that does cost extra. And so I've recently learned that a lot of people don't realize that the FastPass system at Disneyland is free. So use it.
Yeah.
Say that you want to go on, today you really, really want to do Space Mountain. Well, go get your fast pass for Space Mountain. And the thing is that even if your fast pass isn't good until 6 or 7 hours down the line because it's a really crowded day and you got there late, that doesn't mean that you can't get another one for 6 or 7 hours. It's 2 hours. 2 hours or until your fast pass becomes good. So if your fast pass is good in an hour, then you can get another one when your fast pass time comes. If your fast pass isn't good for 6 or 7 hours, you can get another one in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So use those fast pass systems, especially if you have a young child, they said 6, that's not that young, but if you have a young child, use the single rider lines so that you can swap with your significant other.
You're right. And rider swap and yeah.
You have a little kid that can't go on everything, but you guys still want to do as much as you possibly can. Send one of you through the single rider line and then, switch off. Use the rider swap every chance that you get. There's ways to maximize your time. Now, yeah, if you go on a crowded weekend, you're probably not going to get everything done, but there's absolutely no reason why you should have gone even on a crowded weekend and only gotten to do 2 things.
Right.
You really have to plan out ahead of time. You have to be the person who's prepared, be the person who does, the copious amounts of research ahead of time.
Be the nerd.
I know it seems stupid. It seems like you should just be able to go. And you know what? 20 years ago, you could do that.
Yeah, but those days are gone.
But yeah, it's it is what it is. And there's no use being nostalgic about how things used to be and ignoring the way things really are now.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is kind of manage your expectations and stuff too. I mean, if you go in with this mindset that, you're going to be able to just go in and hop on every ride and stuff. I mean, that, like we said, that's not going to happen. But if you manage your expectations and realize that, it can help you to plan more for the things that you really, really want to make sure that you do, and, make a list of the things that you definitely want to hit. And, the less important things will go at the bottom of the list. And that way, when you are able to hit the, like the Space Mountain or the Indiana Jones or, the California Screamin', which is soon to be whatever Pixar version.
Right.
But, you'll be able to say, look back and say, I was able to hit these. This was awesome. I was able to meet, Moana, who we really wanted to meet. And so that was cool. And the rest is just icing on the cake, when you manage your expectations, that also helps you to keep more of a even head about things as well. Because, if all of a sudden things aren't starting, going right from the get-go, it's just kind of a slippery slope from that point. Mm-hmm. And then you're mad, your kids are mad, and then maybe somebody's hungry or tired or whatever, and that compounds on things as well.
Right.
And then, you have other people, getting their heels hit by like the motorized carts that old people are on, and
or strollers,
and, it's just really easy to, unfortunately not be happy at the happiest place on earth. Mm-hmm. If you're not really aware of what's going on and how you can approach that,
right.
So mindset is huge as well.
Definitely.
Now, one of the things they mentioned that it took them an hour to get through the bag check line, and we mentioned timing on when you're arriving at the park and stuff plays a big part in that. But do you have any tips for getting through that fast, even with large crowds? Because that's an hour lost. I mean, an hour lost out of the day is huge.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is huge. I mean, if you arrive at 10 and then it takes you 2 hours to actually get into the park, I mean, you're not in the park until lunchtime. And then, of course, by that point, you're tired, you're hungry, you're hot, mm-hmm. And you haven't had any fun yet. And you've already been there for 2 hours.
And it's already time for lunch, by the time you get in.
Yeah, no. So when it comes to getting through the bag check, I have 2 suggestions. The first is that the lines to the right are usually shorter. They don't always have the ones on the right side open, but if you go farther to the right, you're usually going to find shorter lines than the ones that are to the left, because you kind of have to walk around a little. There's a curve around, and
if it's later in the day, they're probably going to have all of the stations open that they can anyway to accommodate more people.
You would assume so, but that doesn't always work out that way. The other thing
Common sense. Common sense?
Yeah. The other thing is, if the line seems really, 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 really long, and it usually isn't quite as long as you think it is, but when you're, talking about having a long line to get through the bag check and then also the long line for the tram, the other thing I would suggest is possibly walking through to downtown Disney. So instead of going through the bag check there at the parking structure, you follow the signs to downtown Disney, and you go into the bottom level of the parking structure and around. There's a walkway and everything, and then you walk down the exit of the parking structure, and you cross the street, and you walk down through the parking lot there. And those bag check places there are not likely to have much of a line, because a lot fewer people are trying to go through there.
Yeah.
Now, you do have a walk, and then you have to walk through downtown Disney to get down to the gates. But if the line for the bag check there at the parking structure is long, then the tram line is also going to be long. And, if it takes you an hour to get through all of that, it might only take you half an hour to get through the walking through downtown Disney and everything. So that would be an option too. Mm-hmm. But again, really your best bet is just to get there early.
Yeah. Now, what about finding and meeting characters? Because these guys bought an autograph book. I'm sure they didn't buy it just for it to look pretty, but I mean, you buy an autograph book, you want to fill up the autograph book, right?
Yeah,
and they got
sure.
2 autographs.
Oh, I feel you. I find that the character meet and greets that are set up along Buena Vista Street and Main Street are both, there tend to be long lines for those. And then, when you see that the line, it looks like it might be shorter. Well, that's because it's closed and they're not letting any more people get in line. So I would suggest getting further into the park and looking for some of the other, maybe the less common characters that are, out there. They don't tend to have as long of lines. For example, you can often find Olaf over in the Hollywood backlot area. And he doesn't usually have a long line.
Yeah, Peter Pan, Captain Hook.
Right.
If you're in Fantasyland.
Also Alice and the Mad Hatter.
Yes, yeah.
Mary Poppins and Bert.
They'll just show up. And I don't know how many times we've been in the right place at the right time where Peter Pan comes prancing through. And since Kit was dressed as Peter Pan, he grabbed Kit's hand and they pranced through, Fantasyland together. And we were at the front of the line for, meeting him and stuff,
But
and Captain Hook was there.
Even when you're not at the front of the line for those, they tend to be really short.
Mm-hmm.
You might wait 20 minutes.
Yeah, and they're good classic characters,
They
too.
are. They're great. There's usually, you can often find a princess over at the Snow White's Wishing Well, and the line isn't going to be 60 to 100 people for those.
We met Ariel in like the exit area for the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Yes, I had forgotten about that. But yeah, I mean, she had no line because, hey,
and
nobody knew she was there. Right. So, we tend to skip over the characters. Now, okay, yeah, I get that they're the classic, they're the Fab Five or whatever.
Mickey's house.
That are
Minnie's
there
house
in, like right there down in Main Street or Buena Vista Street. But if you go through to Toontown, those characters all come out there too. Now, Mickey and Minnie can be found in their houses, and most of the time the line isn't too long for those. So you might wait.
It's all the way at the edge of the park.
Yeah, you might wait 45 minutes to see Mickey Mouse down on Main Street, but if you go to his house, you might only wait 20 minutes or half an hour. And
Pluto is out there by the
Pluto, Donald, and Goofy all come out from the back, and they go stand near their houses,
right?
But especially if you happen to be there when they come walking out, you can end up in a 5 or 10 minute line. It doesn't take very long, and again, they don't tend to let those lines get too long either.
Yeah.
As far as the 60 to 100 people lines, that I see that more with like the Anna and Elsa meet and greet, which is at a specific spot, and they're there all the time.
Can you fast pass those?
No.
Was there a point that you could, or that's at Disney World? Huh?
You could at Disneyland when it wasn't there.
Okay. Right. Okay, that was like a temporary thing.
There might have even been fast pass for a short time while it was in the spot that it's at the animation studio. But prior to that, like we didn't see them until we went to Disney World, because when we went to Disney World, we were able to book our fast passes to see them beforehand, because it was like a 4-hour wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly as Walt wanted.
Right. But we never could manage to get fast passes to see them at Disneyland before then. And I'm not waiting 4 hours to see characters. No. Sorry.
Nope.
It's just not that important.
So I think we've pretty much covered everything. I guess addressed all of the main pain points there.
I would definitely recommend going back to the hotel if you're, close enough for a swim in the afternoon.
Help you recharge
rest, and then,
or a nap.
But then go back.
Yeah.
And the crowds do tend to be a little lighter in the evenings as people with young children go home. And now, of course, this when some of the locals tend to show up too. But, it can be nicer to be there when it's dark, when it's cool, when you don't have the sun beating down on you. And if you have a kid that can, manage being out kind of later, go enjoy those things. if you're going to be there for 2 evenings, watch the fireworks one night, but the other night, go on rides during the fireworks because there's hundreds and hundreds of people that are going to be standing there watching the fireworks and not in line on the rides.
People watching Fantasmic as well. Another thing is if you're staying at one of the Disney resorts, the Grand Californian Disneyland Hotel, Paradise Pier, don't they still do early hours for people staying at those places? So take advantage of those too.
Right. So and it's not just for those, some of the Good Neighbor hotels also. You'll have to go look at their official list online because I don't know those.
Right. But it's available.
Definitely, if you have that opportunity to be there an hour earlier to do stuff with shorter lines, go do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, they usually do that at the beginning of the day. Do they still do, they don't do later hours? Okay. That's,
I don't think they've ever done that here.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to go back to Disney World, All right. Do you have any other thoughts on this? I mean,
no, I think we covered pretty much, the main thing is, get there early, have realistic expectations.
Yep.
Be prepared. Know what you want to do.
Don't wing it. You can't wing it anymore. Nope. This podcast is brought to you by the Go Mouse Scouts Guide to Visiting Disneyland with Young Kids. Many people are afraid to take their small children and babies to Disneyland, thinking it's too difficult and won't be enjoyable. This ebook will give new and young parents the confidence to do so, arming them with all of the important information they'll need in order to ensure that they have a great time with their kids at the Disneyland Resort. For more information, visit gomousescouts.com/Disneyland book or look for it in the Amazon Kindle store. Hey, Kit.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. It's been a while since we've recorded, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you happy to get behind the microphone again?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah? So we wanted to talk about something kind of fun, didn't we?
Yeah.
What is it?
Roller skating.
Roller skating. How long have you been roller skating now?
For about a month.
A month?
I think.
Yeah? What was your first experience roller skating? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, once when I was in Cubbies, in Awanas, I got to go to a skating party, and again this month I got to go to another skating party. So I was really good at skating at that place. Yeah.
It's pretty fun, huh? A place out in Ventura.
And guess what? Now I have roller skates of my own.
When did you get them?
I think about 3 days ago.
3 days ago? Yeah.
I think so.
Cool. So, all right, tell me about the skating rink. What do you like about the skating rink that we were at? Skating Plus, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that place.
Well, I know that they have lots of games, and one of them is one of my favorite games, but I never played it anyway, but I really do like it.
What's the game?
It's a Sonic game.
You like Sonic?
Yeah.
Who's Sonic?
Sonic the Blue Hedgehog.
Yeah?
Yeah, he can run super fast.
How fast is super fast?
Like about as fast as me. I can run super fast.
Really?
Really fast.
Do you have superpowers to run super fast?
No.
No? How do you run super fast?
Well, I kept practicing.
Okay. And do you have like a switch on you that you switch it and it makes you run super fast?
No.
Do you have to drink a lot of water to run super fast?
No.
Do you have to eat something to run super fast?
No.
Do you have to get a good night's sleep to run super fast?
No.
Do you have to read an awesome book to go super fast?
No.
How do you run super fast?
By practicing.
Yeah?
Running. Yeah.
Okay. So you practice running.
Yeah.
Where do you practice running?
Like out on our street.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now you also have some other super cool moves too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like, one of them that usually happens at my at Nona's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I just noticed it that I can do that yesterday.
What is it?
Where I run when I go up onto her porch, I run super fast on the grass, and then I tried to jump over to the sidewalk, and it always works.
It always works, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even like when I'm like this close to it, that close. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have a class that you take that helps you learn super cool moves?
Yeah.
What's that class?
But last ninja class, and I'm gonna get a new ninja class called Ninja Warrior.
Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
What's the class that you have been going to?
Just regular ninja class.
Yeah? Okay, tell me about ninja class.
Well, last time was my last day, so now I'm going to, and my other ninja classes have, happen on different days.
Uh-huh. Okay, what do you guys do at ninja class?
Well, there are these swinging rings that I usually swing on, and once I even got to swing and do monkey bars on them, and then I got to like swing onto a rope with no hands. So I swung off, grabbed onto the rope, then like in this position of a firefighter when he's sliding down the pole.
Ah, okay. What's your favorite thing that you've done at ninja class?
Well, my favorite thing is when I ran and jumped on something and then flew over something and then rolled and then ran up a wall.
I think we have a video of that, don't we?
Yeah.
Should we put that on the blog post for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so people can see, and we'll post it in the Facebook group too.
The kind of jump that I did was called a smash jump.
A smash jump.
Yeah. So where I had to make a sound like.
Ah. Okay. All right.
On the thing that I jumped on.
Oh, here comes Roddy.
Hey, baby. Hello.
All right. Did you want to say anything else to the Mouse Scouts? Was that fun?
Smash jump.
Smash jump. You heard it here first. Mouse Scouts, you have to smash jump. All right. Say bye-bye, Mouse Scouts.
Bye-bye, Mouse Scouts.
So, it's been a while since you've been on here, huh, Ted? What do you want to say?
Don't know.
Yeah, what were you doing while me and Mommy were recording?
Playing on my Kindle.
Yeah, what were you playing on your Kindle?
A puzzle game.
A puzzle game?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the puzzle game.
I played it when I played the fox one, and then I played
A puzzle game and a fox game, and what else? What's this one?
That's not a game.
No, what is it?
It's a video.
Oh, it's a video?
Uh-huh.
What kind of animals are those?
Giraffes.
Do you like giraffes?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite kind of giraffe?
A big one.
A big one?
Uh-huh.
What do giraffes do?
Move.
They move?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and what else?
That
What else do they
one.
do? Yeah, that's a big one. What else do they do?
They eat robots.
They eat robots?
Huh?
What kind of robots do they eat?
That one.
Is that a robot?
Mhm.
I don't understand. Okay.
Like two. Oops.
Ah, whoops. Purple Monkey Mission, huh? Team Unizumi?
Mm-hmm. Team Umizumi.
Umizumi! Ah, okay. So they eat robots?
Uh-huh.
What do you think robots taste like?
Chewy.
They taste chewy?
No.
They taste like cherry?
Mm-hmm.
This is good. All right. Oh, are you thirsty? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Mouse Scouts. Say bye-bye, Mouse Scouts.
Bye, Miss Scout.
All right. Hey Mouse Scouts, are you thinking about taking a Disney vacation? Let us help you out. We have teamed up with Gold Gal Getaways, and they can help you with all of your planning details, and since they're paid by Disney, they can do it all at no additional cost to you. Their amazing agents will work with you directly to make sure that you're getting the best rates possible on lodging and admission, and will even keep their eyes peeled for other discounts or bonuses to add to your trip as they come up. There's just so much to consider when planning a vacation to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or even a Disney cruise, so let Gold Gal Getaways take care of it all for you. That way you can know for sure that nothing will get missed and you'll have a wonderful, magical trip. Plus, if you book a trip to Disneyland, you're entitled to a free digital copy of our guide to visiting Disneyland with young kids. For a free, no-obligation quote, visit gomousescouts.com/quote. And have a great time on your trip. So, Mouse Scouts, I'm interested in hearing from you guys. Did you like this episode? We kind of, broke our normal, discussion on things on a specific topic and, tried to tackle, somebody's real world experience and try and figure out what they could have done different. So would you like to hear more of these? If you would, maybe you've read something somewhere of somebody else's bad experience and we could, discuss that on a future episode of our show. Also, we would love to hear from you if you are planning a trip to go to Disneyland or Disney World with your family and kids. We'd love to talk to you, have you on our show, talk to you about how you're planning for your trip and stuff like that, and how long you're going to be, where you're going, and stuff like that, and then talk to you after your trip as well to find out how things went and what went well and what you may have done different. So we would love to have you guys on our show to do one of those kind of trip reviews as well. So definitely reach out to us and we'll figure that out. So other than that, you can find us online at gomousescouts.com. We would love to have you come into our Facebook group, which you can find at gomousescouts.com/Facebook. And we also have a freebie for you guys, our 10 ways that families can save on a Disneyland trip. And you can get that at gomousescouts.com/freebie. Couple of other things. We're actually going to be creating a print version of our guide to visiting Disneyland with kids. Right now you can get the e-version of that at amazon.com. And we also have some t-shirts up that you can find at our website as well. And I'm going to be designing some more fun t-shirts, just different ways that you guys can support the show. So, but most of all, email us, find us online. We'd love to chat with you guys and help build this community and stuff. And I know we've been sporadic with episodes and stuff like that, but life is busy and, we can give all, excuses and stuff we want, but we are trying to still get some episodes out there, keep our podcast feed alive and, keep showing up as much as we can right now in your podcatchers and in the Apple Podcasts and stuff. So, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate you, and we'd love to hear from you. So, take care.
Disney 98. Papa, what it?